modern females are goddesses. What? You didn't know? Boy, you'll be out here looking for some strange and end up running into Doctor Strange because these modern females seem to think that they can manipulate reality. Hence why they call themselves goddesses, because they evidently should be worshiped. You remember that one modern female who said, I'm a goddess. I should be worshiped. I deserve having all of these male hands on me and having intercourse with multiple men at one time. You remember her? Bananas, right? But this is how these modern females are. They literally think that they're goddesses. This is why they act the way they act. This is why when they get with men, they think they can change them. Oh, you don't believe me? Well, this modern female in the video you're about to watch has actually been divorced 3 times. When you hear her explanation and her talking about what should happen in the future, you're going to do the Homer Simpson. Don't watch.
So I've been married and divorced 3 times. And if I could say one thing about my experience, and I mean, you can take it or leave it, it's going to be this. Make sure that whoever you are dealing with, okay, whether it's, somebody you're dating, long term, short term, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, or whatever, make sure that wherever they are at that moment, and by that moment, I mean, if they don't lose any weight, if they don't get a better job, if they don't fix, the childhood trauma, if they got a cat and you don't like cats, wherever they are at that moment, if you cannot deal with that, if you're thinking about, oh, well, if they change this and they change that and, over time, then we'll grow to be, if they don't change a thing, is that somebody that you want to commit yourself to? See, what a lot of us, women especially, what we do is we connect ourselves to the potential that we feel a person has. And that potential doesn't always pan out. Sometimes we see something in somebody else that they don't necessarily get to realize or that they even see in themselves. But you got to understand that you have to love people where they are. And if they're showing a bunch of red flags and a bunch of deal breakers now, you have to know that if you commit yourself to that person, you could potentially be dealing with that for the rest of your life if you're talking about marriage or long-term relationships. So ignore the potential. Just throw that away. Go ahead and take a look at where that person is right now. If that's somebody that you can see yourself with long-term until you leave this planet, then you commit to that person. But do not commit to somebody's potential, because that's not something that exists. It doesn't exist.
Can somebody tell me the idiot who decided to marry this modern female after she'd been divorced twice? What? Did he think third time was the charm? Idiot, whoever you are out there, you need some training. You definitely need to come over here and pay attention to the GMF family's videos, because you obviously have no clue how these modern females work. My question to this modern female is, why did it take you 3 times to realize the stupidity of your decision making? This modern female is in essence like this. She has a guy and he likes reading about space and Neil deGrasse Tyson. So she says, you know what? I believe he can be an astronaut. But he's a sanitation worker. And he likes his job because he's like, I'm cleaning up the world and I enjoy the fact that I'm doing something that's meaningful. She's like, nope, I think you should be an astronaut. He says, nah. And then she says, well, we're getting divorced. Then she sees another guy. He likes playing pickup basketball. She thinks, you know what? He could be a college basketball coach. So I'm going to try to push him towards that greatness. And this dude's a call center supervisor. And he likes his job because he likes to help people who call in for support. But she's like, no, no, no. You can do something better, or at least that she thinks is better. So go ahead and be this college basketball coach. He's like, no. And she's like, all right, I'm leaving. Then she runs into that third idiot, and he likes to cook. So she's like, you know what? He could be a great chef. He could be the next Gordon Ramsay. But this dude's a factory QA. He does quality assurance, making sure that the products that go out are safe for the public. And he likes that. But she's like, no, I think that you could be better because evidently what you are is not good enough. That's in essence what he hears. So he's like, nah, I'm good where I am and I enjoy it. I make decent money. I'm cool. And she's like, no, no, I need another one. I'm leaving. Then she rolls out. And you know it was more than likely her because females are the ones who leave 70 to 90% of the time. Then she decides to get online and say, hey, everybody, you probably shouldn't do what I did 3 times. You think? Why are you even talking? I mean, I understand that when people have experiences, even if they're bad, people can see what not to do. Yes, I get that. My question is, have you taken your own advice yet? Are you dating a guy now who you think you might possibly marry and you're telling yourself that you're going to change him to something else? Or are you dating a guy and you're like, this is who he is and I'm going to be good with this guy? Which one is it? Because whoever the guy is, he's a freaking imbecile. People, don't just look at where they are because she talks about you got to see where they are. And if you don't like where they are, then you don't want to be with them. Wrong. Don't just look at where they are. You have to look at where they say they want to go and ask yourself if you'll be okay with what goes with that as well. Because newfound fame can destroy relationships too. So, what if he decides he wants to go to a higher plane and one that you actually like, and it turns out that he's a different person in that plane? Will you like him then? See, that's the thing. They don't think about the whole picture. They're always thinking about one thing. They're focused on one thing. They don't think about the man. So you have to look at not just where he is, but where he wants to go and see if you'll be okay with him being in both places. Gentlemen, this is another reason why men are no longer interested in dating. Modern females don't want who men are. They want the person into whom they think they can turn a man. And guys are just done with not being accepted and appreciated for the good men they are.